In this video, I'm going to break down 10 tips that you guys need to know in Madden 25 to take your guys' game to the next level. The first couple tips are going to be for beginners, so if you guys are not beginners, you guys can still even look at these tips because you guys might not know it, but they are meant for beginners. But as the video goes longer, they are going to be better tips, and all of these tips have at some point helped me in my career earn over $20,000 while competing and being a top 25 player back-to-back years. You guys can use these in any single game mode. Let's get into the first tip. So for tip number one, it's going to be talking about when to shade up and when to shade down and what that means and what it even does. So if, for example, cover four is one of the best defenses in the game. This is what the play art is going to look like right here. You guys see we are in a match coverage. Now what we can do, this is really good for when canceling match. Or even if, like, for example, if you're calling like a cover three and you want to go from maybe playing just regular cover three with curl flats to go in the cover three hard flat, Tampa 2 with clouds, or Tampa 2 with hard flats. Or if we're already in a cover three hard flat or something like that, we can shade up and go to clouds if we want to guard something deeper. So first, let's talk about what shading up and shading down means. So if you shade down, right here, I'm going to bring up the play art. If I shade down, these quarter flats are going to turn into hard flats. So right now I just shaded down, and all I do is click Y, and then I click Y again, or excuse me, Y and right stick down to go shade underneath. Now if I want to shade over top, now this would give me hard flats. I would shade over top. Now I can also go back to regular match where these quarter flats, I can shade over top, and now I should have curl flats. So you can change your zones depending on the what you do if you shade underneath. So shading underneath and shading over top is super important because obviously if we're going to shade underneath and put hard flats on the field, we're going to play the flat from these slot DBs, but our users also affected. Every zone is pretty much affected besides these deep blues. Sometimes the deep blues do play a little bit differently. I don't really believe they do. But like this 3-rec, for example, if I shade this 3-rec underneath and there's something that comes across the middle of the field, like a drag, it is going to, as long as there's something else that doesn't pull it, it is more than likely going to match. Now, if I shade over top, let's say if there's a deeper post, a 3-rec probably is going to choose an underneath route over that deep post, but if there's nothing to pull it, that 3-rec is actually going to run back with that post because it is shaded over top. You can do this with mid reads, and this is also really good. So if I'm in like this Tampa 2 drop right here that you guys see, let me just blitz the linebacker because, you know, we're not going to have double yellows, but something like this, if we shade our hook curls underneath, instead of running back, they will play drags better, curl routes better, and if you shade over top, they're going to play the seams better. And you can also shade in and outside if you think routes are going to break a certain way. Those hook curls are also going to jump out that way. So you can shade up and down, but that is the big importance with shading up and down. Let's get on to the next one. So for tip number two, it's going to be about running the football. And when you guys see certain defenses out on the field, so against a defense that is symmetrical, and when I'm talking about symmetrical defenses, I'd be talking about dollar, where there's 2 slot corners on the field, or like 6-1, there's going to be no slot corners on the field, but you're going to have 2 outside linebackers out on both sides. So it's technically a symmetrical defense. It's going to have 2 outside corners, 2 outside linebackers, and 2 top safeties. So it doesn't matter if you flip, they don't have to flip. Unless they want to, you know, just reset their play or whatever, because it's symmetrical. A defense like this, where it has 1 slack corner on the field, we can run stretch this way, and we do have a lot of success doing that. Also, this is 3-3 normal, so, you know, we're going to have a little bit of success. What we're going to want to do is run away from the slack corner. This is going to be tip number 2, is running away from slack corners in nickel sets, or any defense that really just has a slack corner to it. So like right here, if we do motion over DeAndre Hopkins, we have the numbers by a lot, and we're going to have a lot of we're going to have more success trying to run the football. Now, you know, if they play for the run commit, or maybe blitz the safeties, they're going to play the run a lot better, but we would have more success running it away from that slack corner, and that's just always been kind of the rule of thumb, is just always the run away from the slack corner. Right there, my run did not flip. But even right there, we have 1 receiver over to the other side. We're kind of overloading this right side right now, so we're still going to have success. But just to run away, always make sure you're running away from the slack corner. You never want to run into more traffic. It makes it a lot harder for them. They have to get a lot more aggressive with their shells right here. We're going to be able to run. I'm going to pick up my controller. I'm using a second controller right now. But we're going to be able to run, get a lot more yards. And if somebody was, for example, let me just set up a defense. So what some people are going to do is they're going to bring their safeties down. They might, you know, shift their linebackers this way. So we're probably not going to have a lot of success if we try to run right here. I mean, I'm not using anything, but like look at right there, like that linebacker or Chris Jones loops around to try and grab us. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is make sure you guys always are trying to get a numbers advantage away from the slot cornerback. Never try to get it towards the slot corner. It doesn't matter if they know it's running. Just you're counting how many people are on a certain side. So that is going to be tip number 2. So tip number 3 is going to be user pressing. And I'm going to talk about what user pressing is. So pretty much what you're going to do is, so if I was to snap the ball, and I'm going to user press the tight end because this is pretty meta in the game. And I'm going to explain why to you guys it's pretty meta. But right here, if I do snap the ball, I can I totally missed that right there. Let's attempt that one more time. But this is kind of hard to do when, hold on, give me 1 second. This is kind of tough to do with 2 controllers. But if I user press this tight end right here, I'm pretty much, I can user press him a little bit longer, but he's a little bit slower to run down the field. So if he's on a vertical route or like a corner route, it's going to mess up their timing a lot, and it's going to allow your pressure to get there. So you do this pretty much. You're going to hover over this tight end. You're going to click LB or the left bumper, L1 if you're on PlayStation, and then you guys are going to press A or X, X if you're on PlayStation, A if you are on Xbox. And what this does is you're going to be able to fight with the tight end. Now, I wouldn't do this all the time while playing, just because you will sometimes get some pass interferences, and you don't want to have that happen, especially like on a big down, 4th down. If you need a stop for your life, you might want to, run this if you haven't been able to stop the tight end. But this does really good in trip sets because a lot of the time people are going to send out their tight end. The tight end's the most important player in this game this year. Tight end posts are really good. Tight end seam streaks, tight end corner routes out of U-trips are really good. So a lot of people rely on their tight ends. They kind of blocked their running back this year, where in years prior it's been always block the tight end, send out your running back. So being able to take the tight end out the play, mess up the timing, is going to be huge. And especially against trips formations, you guys are going to want to press the tight end, because the tight end is really what gives a lot of people hell in these formations. So like in a scheme like this, Y off trips, now there's not really going to be a tight end corner in this formation. But like a tight end drag right here. If you can bump a tight end drag and take away your opponent's first read right there, and they have to hold on to the ball, let their read progressions go, it's going to give time for our loop blitz to come in. Same thing if they run a tight end streak. So many people want to just throw a tight end streak. You user press that tight end, they can't throw the tight end streak. You're right there. If they try to throw it, you're probably going to pick it if you have pick artists. Otherwise, you swat it, whatever you're going to do. So make sure you guys are user pressing, especially against those trips tight end sets. You guys can also do wide receivers. It doesn't really matter. I also like to do the trips B receiver or the inside receiver that's closest to the tackle. I love to press him because he's on some really important routes and regular trips tight end like slant post. I'll press him sometimes. So make sure you guys are implementing user press for your tip number 3. All right, now going into tip number 4, it's going to be how to identify the RPO reads before the plays even snapped. And there's so many people who don't even know this. So right here, I'm going to show you guys, this is just regular dagger whips. Just a pass play, right? Here's an inside zone, and we see if we call dagger whips. Now, this formation is a little bit different, but sometimes, what was I going to say? Sometimes, the buttons, don't like switch. So, and I'm going to get a lot more and explain, but pretty much what I'm trying to get at is that Pacheco right now is the Y icon. And if we audible to any run, whether this is the RPO read Y flat, the inside zone in this formation, we know that at least the ball is going to be handed off on the ground, or have like the option for the RPO read flat. So you're going to play the run the same way in this formation. And a lot of the times it's really just going to be these RPO read flats. Anytime this icon is A, there is some sort of an RPO, and it's a read RPO. So plays like double stack, that's a read RPO. There's a couple other RPOs in different formation, like the out of the deuce close. That's another one. So you can always tell. And the way you guys are going to tell on defense. So I was just on offense. So right now I'm on defense. I'm going to be moving my players around. I'm going to act like I want to man somebody up, but I'd never click any of the buttons. I can just do this, and I can sit like this pre-play. I don't have to man anybody up. I can move my left stick around. So if I do want to like move, or a guy goes in motion, but I can see the icons the whole time I'm playing. So after I set up my defense, if they haven't snapped the ball and they're sending their audibles, I'm like, okay, I see this in RPO. Now I can maybe move my safety out here so I can stop this RPO over on the outside. So let me just do that right here, just so you guys can see. Here's another tip. Since we're talking about RPOs, if you guys call cover 4, put a slot corner right here. I am not baseline though, so hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. Let's see. I'm going to snap the ball right here. We're going to be able to play it. But just always look for that running back icon. If you're getting hit with a lot of RPOs, I wouldn't look for it at the beginning of the game. Wait till like, okay, we've identified that maybe they're going to this RPO a lot or whatever. So always pay attention to that running back icon. That way you guys can tell if they're going to a certain RPO, and that is going to be tip number 4. So for tip number 5, we're going to be talking about the 5-yard hooks in Madden 25. 5-yard hooks are one of the best zone drops in the game. People always ask, what zone drops do you use? I normally use default, but if I am getting attacked with zigs every player, even drags, 5-yard hooks are going to be my friend. So we're going to call a cover 4. We can also audible the cover 2 if we need to. And one of the just a favorite kind of route concept is going to be like the smash return. We're going to do it out of bunch. So this is what smash return looks up. This is what smash return looks like. Here we go. All right, something like this. Now, I'm actually going to fix up the combo because this is what the combo would look like. You're going to have a streak from this RB guy, this inverted zig, and worthy. So with this 5-yard hook, if I didn't have 5-yard hooks, they would just be able to sit there, hit the zig, hit the zig, hit the zig. Also, you have this drag. So what we can do is, let's just say we're going to go to Tampa 2. Now, if there was just a regular hook curl, it would back up, play this drag, or it wouldn't even play the drag, and the drag would just be wide open. Same thing with inverted zig. Inverted zig would be wide open. So let me show you guys that we are in cover 2. I'm just going to put Bolton in a deep blue just so we don't get sacked. Now, I just want to show you guys how these 5-yard hooks play. Watch how they play. I'm going to switch stick on. You guys see how much lower they're playing? So let me just throw this away, and we're going to go actually to the instant replay. Let's go to instant replay. And now I kind of messed up my user just a little bit, but look where this 5-yard, this is a 5-yard hook that's sitting in the perfect spot. There's really no way that they can throw this. The cornerback's going to break. You're going to pick it off because it's going back inside. Now, if we shade underneath, we'd have a hard flat right here so they can't throw the drag, but we did leave the cloud. This 5-yard hook, if they want to throw a drag at this 5-yard hook, so be it, but it is going to open up things that are deeper down the field. So this would be like our responsibility with the user, but those 5-yard hooks just sit in a great spot versus these drags. So playing against a guy who's calling dig return, maybe even like a bench pivot, or just like any of those zigs, and you need a stop, you know he's going that play, switch to those 5-yard hooks. Those 5-yard hooks are really good. And if all comes to worst, if there is no zig on a play, that's why we have the switch stick. You guys can go and switch stick to it. I'm just gonna, call Tampa 2 once again. I'm gonna blitz. I'm gonna put my user in a zone. Worst comes to worst, we can just switch stick if needed to be. So if you guys aren't using those 5-yard hooks in big situations like that, make sure you guys start using 5-yard hooks. So for tip number 6, I'm gonna be talking about why you need to start using inside quarters over out or inside thirds. Now, there are situations you guys are gonna want to be using inside thirds, but overall, your go-to zones need to be inside quarters. So you guys are probably wondering why you're sitting in cover 3 and your guys just get ran by. So if you guys are going to be like, oh, it's because your safeties are in the box. Well, if you want to get seam streak to death, sure. Back them off and call regular cover 3 and watch those seam streak go to work. But if you guys don't want to get seam streak but also play streaks and all the other routes that are going to get open over top, you guys are going to want to listen to me and call the inside quarters over inside thirds. So if I just pull this up, let me get a cover 3 shell out. Now, even if I was to back these guys off just a little bit, watch how the streak watch how the streak just runs by right here. That streak just pretty much ran by the inside third. We can throw that. So like if I actually get on my actual control or on my offensive controller right here. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with the streak running by the inside third right here because it's so low in the box right here. It just gets burned. You can lob it over top. Look at that. Marquise Brown just gets easy 7. Now you can say it's speed thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Justin Reed's pretty fast safety. Now watch what happens if we do quarters right here. So quarters, I backed him off just a little bit because sometimes you will touch your safeties. So I'm going to back him off. Now watch how much better this quarter plays right here. This quarter is running with him step for step now. I have no chance. Whereas before, he kind of had a step on him. Even if sometimes he stays with them, you can get a good animation right there. And so inside quarters play just those deep routes better, but they're also just a lot easier to switch stick to. And you're going to use 2 inside quarters a lot. So even if you switch stick to one of your inside quarters, you are going to have a lot better success. So what I would do now, talking about like inside thirds and inside quarters, if I were you guys and you guys do want to run like a cover 3, why can I not show the play art? I'm not a man. So I would just put an inside quarter on the strong side. You could just do double inside quarters. Um, it's just not registering. That's awesome. All right, here we go. I would do something like this. You guys want to stay in that cover 3 look. You guys can get aggressive. I would just try to not run as much cover 3, especially if they're putting a lot of streaks on the strong side of the formation. If they're going away from it, you can mix in a little bit of cover 3. But those inside quarters are going to be playing streaks a lot better. So if you are getting burnt over top, try an inside quarter over an inside third. And let me know if that works. And that is going to be our 6th number tip. I think it's 6, whatever number we're on to the next one. Our next tip is going to be to have a switch stick plan. Switch stick is the best feature in this game. So if I want to set up a blitz, we're just going to come out in regular cover 4. Now, this is what, that is not cover 4. Okay, here we go. All right, this is what my regular cover 4 would look like, something like that. Now, switch stick is not really the zones you have out on the field. To an extent, it is. So let's just say, for an example, if I know you're gonna be switch sticking a lot, you're not really looking. You're kind of looking to bag people for the most part, but you want to make sure the zones you're switching to are good switch stick zones. Hard flats are really good. I'm not gonna switch stick in the hard flat. I'm not gonna switch stick to a curl flat. The reason why I'm not gonna switch stick to a curl flat most of the time is if my opponent was to hike the ball right here. If I'm switch sticking, when I switch stick, more than likely I'm not jumping down towards a route like at a drag route for the most part. And then expecting him to go back up. More than likely, I'm playing the flat, realizing that, oh shit, there's a corner route open behind me. I gotta go play that. Once I play it, then I'm switch sticking off, hoping that my player goes down, or maybe that he plays the seam, whatever it may be. So I always do something like this, even though you're like, what the hell? Probably. So what I would do would be something like this. On the strong side of the formation, I'm gonna keep my user in this 3 rec. If you want to hover over on whatever side, doesn't matter. I always like to hover over on the strong side just because there's more routes that can attack me over here. Now over on this back side, I can leave cover 4 just to make sure I don't get beat over top. But I'm gonna do something like this where I just put a hook curl over here, or a vert hook over here. Now, what my plan is I'm going to probably switch stick to the vert hook. I'm going to take away whatever with my user to start. So if I snap the ball right here, I'm going to switch stick to this vert hook. Now, I can pretty much run. Now, if I was to switch stick back up to a zone, that flat's going to be wide open. I'm okay. I'm going to live with that. But that vert hook will jump back. It might play a post route that comes back over the middle, the in route, if someone puts a curl out on the field. So switching to that vert hook is going to do good. But always having a plan of what you want to do with your switch stick is going to be ideal for years to come. I feel like, unless for some reason they nerf how the switch stick works, I don't see a reason why it won't. Now you can do, now, for example, you also have to know some of the plays too. So in Bunch Strong, I know some of the main plays are going to be like Dagger. Dagger is going to have a post from the tight end, 2 streaks, one from the solo and the slot, and then a backside drag coming through. So I know that can be a play that comes. So I'm going to look to see what the tight end's doing. If the tight end goes vertical and just keeps running vertical, I know it's not going to be Dagger. If the tight end cuts pretty early in his route, I know it's Dagger. I can run with the drag, switch stick back up to the top safety. I can do a lot of things. Also, I know there's flood concepts. I know people like to go flat, corner, streak in bunch. So I can also look for that. If I'm going to read the outside receiver maybe to see if he goes on a drag, I know it's Dagger. If he goes on a flat, okay, I know it's going to be that flood concept. So, and also just knowing the weaknesses of your defense too. So I know if I'm in cover 4, let's just say another common shell I love to run would be vert hook this slot. Okay, that's awesome. It didn't register. Vert hook the slot, and then I'm going to saw squat this guy. So normally what this saw squat does is it goes to deep corner routes if there's no flat. If the flat, he'll run down to the flat, play the flat, and then it'll be wide open. So let's just say my opponent has realized that I've called this same coverage a lot, so I'm gonna put this out here. Here we go. I'm going to put that combo out there that I know is going to cook this defense. So right here, we're playing defense. I'm going to snap the ball. I'm going to watch my switch or my soft squat run down. But I know since that I have that soft squat over there and I see that combo because that outside receiver is going to the flat, I know my soft squat's going to get pulled. So I have to react quickly, switch stick over to that slot DB, and I'm gonna play that deep area. Even if nothing runs over there, it's better than not playing that area, because if you don't play that area, you're gonna give it up. You can also switch stick up to the top safety. You can do whatever, but just having a plan, knowing the weaknesses of your defense, and just kind of overall knowing certain plays that are in the formation. All three of those are gonna help you understand the switch stick a little bit better, and even improve your switch stick if you guys can pick up on some of those tendencies. And that is going to be our 7th tip. All right, so we've kind of covered a lot of defense in this video. We kind of jumped all over the spot. We're getting into our 8th tip, and it's going to be picking up the loop blitzes in this game. So loop blitzes, or not loop blitzes, all right, let's re-record this. 3, 2, 1. Going into our next tip, it's going to be talking about play action blocking versus certain blitzes. So you guys know about the overpowered loop blitz. You guys have probably played it. I can't pick up the loop. Oh, you guys, everybody probably has been in that spot. I've even been in the spot. But I'm going to show you guys what you guys can do to pick up this overpowered blitz. And even against, like, overall, this blocking is just better, but it super excels versus loop blitzes over every other blitz. So right here, I'm just going to call it a regular play. All right, send 5 out. No blocking. That was the worst loop blitz ever. Let's try that again. Hopefully that does not happen, where it just takes the worst angle. Oh, it's also probably because I called the worst play possible too. I think I called the strong safety blitz. And I also have a very slow looper. Let's try this again. Right here. Taking just the worst angle. But anyways, you get the point. We're getting looped. Granted, we're sending 5 versus 4. You guys are probably like, why can't I just pick this up? So, you guys call play action play. Let me set up this loop blitz again. All right, hopefully it won't matter about the angle. So what we're going to do is when you call play action play, we'll call PA double post. You can send 5 out. All right, I'm going to show you guys. Here we go. We're going to cook up the greatest route combo that we can't see. All right, don't ever call this route combo. Actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It could be usable. But anyways, this is a play action play. We called PA double post. We can put our running back on a route. You don't have to leave the play action. You don't have to let it run all the way through. Just got to call a play action play. Now watch this. That looper, instead of looping all the way around now, he actually just ran down. So what this does for some reason is that looper, instead of doing the loop, he sees as a play action, he thinks as a run, he just directly runs right at the guards. He runs right in there, and you don't even have to pick it up. You don't have to ID. Now, sometimes the looper is going to, squeeze through the line. That's going to happen every once in a while, and that's just unlucky, something you guys have to deal with. But play action allows these slot corner blitzes, these linebacker blitzes, just to kind of come in a little bit slower. And they also, instead of taking their original angles, they kind of just run right at the O-line because they're just expecting it to be a run. Same thing with like DB Fire. DB Fire, if you guys call play PA snag, those guys are just going to run directly at the tackles instead of trying to run and loop a little bit around them, coming off the edge. Now, if you guys are playing something like 6-1, 3-4 odd, it's going to help your guys' O-line block a little bit better, but it's still just so many people are blitzing in those heavy formations, it won't matter. But if you guys are playing 4-man loops, 5-man slot corner blitzes, you guys are going to want to utilize play action. Find it in your playbook. I love PA snag. You can do this out of Chiefs right here, out of the PA double post. Another good play with some great routes. We see a wheel, we see some drag, so make sure you guys are utilizing PA to the best of its abilities. For our 9th tip, and if you guys have made it this far in the video, please hit the subscribe button. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, I'm trying to post as many breakdowns of games, tips, all that stuff, but we're going to talk about who you should be blocking versus what. Now, you guys are going to be like, oh yeah, if this guy's blocking or sending 5, that's not what I'm talking about, right? It's not like, I'm talking about against certain defensive sets, who you guys should block. So right here, they're in dollar, all right? I would make sure I always, and I mean always, send out my tight end versus dollar, all right? If you put your tight end on the line, it doesn't really do a great job picking up loop blitzes in general. But a tight end is just so important when you're playing against these slot DBs. The running back really isn't a factor. I mean, all the running back can really do is get put on a wheel route. So if you have to block anybody against dollar or dime blitzes in general, you guys are going to want to just block your running back. Don't block your tight end. Tight end is on so many important routes that's going to make it a lot harder for these dime blitzes to stop your offense. So I see so many people just going, when they get looped, just going straight to the tight end. Stop. Don't do that. block your running back if you really need to, if you need the extra protection. Otherwise, send 5 out. We just talked about the PA snag and sending 5 out, or PA double post. So you guys can use that, but if you have to block somebody, make sure you guys are blocking your running back. So now, when you guys are going to ask, when do I need to block my tight end? So this is when you guys are going to want to block your tight end. So a blitz, and I see so many people do this, and it makes me so mad. Let's go back to this wide trips nasty. All right, I'm just going to go PA double post right here. So I see so many people do this. It makes me mad. All right, do we have 6-1? We do. All right, 6-1. We're not going to baseline. Now, the reason why you can block your running back. Now, you can be successful blocking your running back. I'm just going to block my running back, send everybody out right here. Now, look, we picked everybody up right here. We did an okay job. Now, depending on a user, depending on a hover, we're not going to have that same blocking, all right? You guys are just lucky that I'm not hovering. I'm not crashing. So, let's just say I'm going to hover right here. I'm going to block my running back. Did I put everybody on a route that needs to be on a route? Let's see if this works against the CPU right here. All right, great blocking right there. You got to tip your cap. Maybe I'm not in low enough. I don't know. Maybe let me try this real quick. I'm gonna try to get on defense right now. I know I can get this. Just give me 1 second. All right, right here. I'm gonna snap the ball. Just like that. Look, my hover changes. I'm down in that line just a little bit longer. And guess what? Somebody comes off the edge. So now how are we gonna counter this right here? So the reason why this works against these heavy sets work against a blocked running back is because there's just so many people rushing. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people rushing the quarterback. Now, if you block your running back's responsible for somebody, and he's going to allow him kind of just to get closer to the quarterback. It's going to allow more sheds to happen because you're going to be moving in the pocket, trying to maybe get away from the running back who's trying to pick up somebody. So what we're going to do instead of that is we're going to block our tight end now because the tight end is on the line. He's just another blocker. He's like an old lineman. And then I always ID opposite of my tight end. IDing opposite of your tight end versus these heavy sets. Is going to help your tackle kick out to the other side. So pretty much everybody's going to kind of move like one step opposite of the tight end. It gives you a lot cleaner of a pocket, more time, and then you can kind of cook up a route combo from here. So something we could do we'll do something like this. Just some simple like this. You can, okay, this looks a little ugly. I can't lie. All right, we'll do, man, I don't like my running back on this side. I don't like my running back on the trip side. That's really weird to me. I'm really not used to it. I'm going to snap the ball, and we can just do something like this. And normally running back wheels do really good versus man right there. It's probably because I motioned him out closer to the sideline. But against heavy sets with a lot of D linemen, you guys are going to want to block your tight end if possible. If so, you can motion block him. Otherwise, nickel sets, dime sets, you guys are going to want to look to block your running back. And that is going to be our 9th tip. All right, for our last tip, and it's going to be off like this blitz, it's going to be heavy set blitz combos. Blitz combos in general, if you guys are getting screamed at, I see so many people that just call bad combos, and it makes me mad. So here's 6-1. We guys see it's a lot of man-to-man coverage. Now, the most popular shells when blitzing, and the reason why they're so popular is because it just takes away what you should be calling versus, these shells, or these blitzes. Is man-to-man coverage because, everybody's manned up. It kind of takes away stuff that's quick, and cover 2. So it'd be just something like this, whether it be cover 2 hard flat or, shade up and it's cover 2, just regular Tampa 2. So I'm going to show you guys how we're being this. With these pass protections that I gave you guys are going to be able to use this. Sometimes you guys are going to get hummed down. They're going to play good defense. We're just going to go back to regular man-to-man coverage. Right here, man-to-man coverage across the board. So now we know that they're in a heavy set. All right, in a heavy set, we're going to block our tight end or a running back, which say maybe they're in dollar and they're sending a lot of people. All right, we're going to block our tight end, something like this. Now, if they're playing aggressive, we need a zig out here for something like stock man that a lot of people go to. We need a zig. Now, how are we going to make a combo with a zig route? Now, something that I love would be like this post route right here. This post route is actually really good, so we're going to leave that post. I'm going to put my running back I'm actually going to put him on a drag right here, and I'm going to put my receiver on a streak. All right, I actually don't like this post anymore, so we're gonna. I can't switch him to an in route right now. Here we go. I'm actually gonna switch him to an in route. I don't know why it won't let me custom stem it. This is being really weird. But normally I would custom stem. We'll just leave a post for right now. But the reason why I like this combo is because drags beat man to man. So like right here, we could have thrown that drag. I saw the post was wide open. That post actually fried man to man coverage. If the streak doesn't excuse me, I'm tripping right now. Because this play art thing. If the streak gets runs past the man, we can throw our streak, which happens a lot, especially with man-to-man coverage. I'm trying to get my combo out here. That's not the fake one. Right here, Rasheed Rice gets a step on him, and just a little bit. We kind of had a bad pass right there. A faster receiver, we might be able to get it. But we also have that zig route over here, so let's go put our running back on a route. I actually hate this formation. I don't know how people beat man-to-man. There's probably a better play than what I'm calling right here, but this will work for now. We have this zig route right here, so if the top safety tries to run with it, it can't do that. Now we also can do cover 2. Cover 2 would probably play that zig a lot better, but when you run zone, you open up a lot more for like the drag. So if I switch this to man-to-man, or from man-to-man to zone, just do that real quick, block our tight end. Now, this is just something I'm just kind of coming up with on the spot. I'm going to try to go to a different formation, though, just to show you guys. Right here, I don't know why. That's because my user was right there. That's kind of annoying. All right, let's try this again. I'm manning up Nick Bolton. All right, here we go. Get on the D-line, man. This is a shit show from your boy. All right, let's try this one more time. Because this is man-to-man coverage. All right, here we go. We should be good. Now against zone coverage right here. That hard flat, yeah, follows it a couple times, but we're going to be able to throw our drag a lot versus zone. If they commit to the drag, we have that post over top. Let me get into a different formation to kind of show you guys better that actually has, in my opinion, better routes for something like this. All right, I got into this tray Y flex, so I can kind of show you guys a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is something like a running back route, even though I have P run in the backfield right now. We'll have the running back wheel, which should be really good. It should eventually beat man-to-man coverage if they run man. We can also do something like this where we have like a post route, or we'll actually go in route right here, stemmed up in route about 10 yards. Now we have a high-low read between our in routes. We have a flat. If they don't man up the flat and they leave it open, let's say they call it like a cover 2, we can throw that. But right here, we're going to throw our in route. Our other in route got open. Our running back gets bumped out of the backfield. But there's just certain combos that you guys are, or certain routes that you guys want on the field. You guys want drags. You want at least, you only need one streak. Don't try to put 2 streak routes. I see so many people do that. I see so many people put deeper corner routes over sharp corner routes, long developing routes. You want to stay away from those. You want to get the ball out as fast as possible. Zigs, drags, 10-yard in routes, or short posts. Do really good. Running back wheels out of the backfield, table routes. You guys are going to want to go to routes like that beat man-to-man coverage. I don't know why my running back won't move out of the backfield. It's actually kind of making me mad. I'm going to motion him in right here. Let me get on the D-line. I just want to watch him successfully run this one time. Just one time. Gets bumped once. Oh my God, he just keeps getting bumped out of the backfield, man. One more time, just because I know this works and it's just making me mad. Please, he got bumped again. There we go. He's got loose. That's finally what I wanted to show you guys like for the past couple minutes. There we go, got it. But yeah, stick to those routes, man. If this video helped you guys in any sort of way, hit the follow or hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one.